Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So I am here today with a large movie haul. So in total, there are 27 DVDs to share with you guys today. And why so many? Well, because I'm running out of space where I store all the stuff that I pick up but haven't shared with you guys yet. I keep that all on a certain shelf, and I'm just out of space on that part, or in that section. And so I need to clear it out. So I figured, you know what? Just do all the DVDs that I picked up from Disc Replay in their buy 3 get 3 free sale at one time. So that's what we're doing today. Now, let me be clear. This is not what I picked up yesterday, not what I picked up last weekend, or even over the past month. This is like 3 months worth of DVDs that I've grabbed from Disc Replay. But as you guys know, if you've been watching the channel this year, I've been trying to like kind of branch out a little bit more and not just stick to so many haul videos. I try to do at least one other thing each week. Hopefully one or two, but a lot of times it's just one other thing. And so because of that, I just have a lot of these DVDs stacking up and are just waiting for me to share with you guys. And so in order to clear off some space and to kind of get through a chunk of movies that I've picked up over the past few months, I figured I would just do one really big haul video today. So that's what we're going to be looking at. And again, what ties all of these together is that these are all DVDs that I picked up from Disc Replay and their standard buy 3 get 3 free sale, which is what they always have on their DVDs, unless of course they're doing their buy 2 get 8, which I still have like 3 stacks of 10 to share with you guys on the buy 2 get 8 that I've been grabbing over the past few months as well. So just lots of things to share. I do have a bit of a backlog when it comes to sharing with you guys, but hopefully you don't mind. I'm sure you don't care, but yeah, so I am excited to get through these and share with you guys everything that I've grabbed in the world of DVDs from buy 3 get 3. And let me also mention that because they're buy 3 get 3, that means I've spent about $1.66 on each of these, $1.67 on each of these. So really good prices, really cheap, which is always what I'm after. So awesome movies in this stack, and I'm really excited about these. So if you guys do have a minute, please click that like button down below. That engagement really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in to my Disc Replay buy 3 get 3 free movie haul. All right, I'm going to start off with a big one here. This is an awesome release. This is Clerks X, Clerks 10, whatever you want to call it. It's the 10th anniversary edition of Clerks. So the reason I grabbed this one is because I said to myself, there are a ton of special features on this, which I at one point considered my favorite movie of all time. I don't do that anymore, but I still really love Clerks. It's a great Kevin Smith movie. It's a great comedy. It's just awesome. And it always holds a special place in my heart because it was the first movie I ever cited as being one of my all-time favorites. And because of that, it holds a special place in my heart. But I looked at all these special features and said, man, I have to have this. Like, let me see if I can open this up. I know this is going to be a super long video anyway, but let me see if I can get this open. Like, this is just a cool release. And so I thought, you know what? There's no way the Blu-ray of this I have has all of this on it. And so I grabbed it because I was able to, this one was actually marked a little bit higher, but I went up to the counter and said, hey, can we just count this as part of the buy 3, get 3? And they did. So I brought it home and then I checked my Blu-ray. Turns out the Blu-ray does have all of these special features already. So that was a little bit disappointing. I thought for sure this had stuff that it didn't, but as far as I can tell, everything is on the Blu-ray. So do I need this release? No. Am I going to sell it? Honestly, probably not. It's not really going for anything on eBay, and it's just a cool release. Like, I just love the look of it. I love this, like, super minimalistic cover. I think it looks awesome. So I'll probably just hold on to this, even though I technically don't really need it. But anyway, love this movie. A fantastic Kevin Smith film that I'm happy to have in the collection. Clerks, the 10th anniversary edition. Next up is one that I needed to complete my collection of these. This is Monty Python, The Meaning of Life. So I already had Life of Brian and Holy Grail, and so this was the last one I needed, so I figured I would pick it up. Now, I have only seen the Holy Grail, and I didn't love it, but I saw that back when I was in high school, and so I want to give it another shot. My tastes have changed since then a little bit, so I want to see if I enjoy it any better now. So excited to have all 3 of these on DVD. And yeah, excited to finally give them a fair shake. So Monty Python, The Meaning of Life. Do you guys like these movies? And if you do, what order would you put them in? Do you think Monty Python and the Holy Grail is the best of the best? Or is Meaning of Life better? I don't know, but I'd love to hear your opinions down below. So the next one is Monty Python and The Meaning of Life. So I guess this first pile here are all comedies because this next one is Half-Baked with Dave Chappelle. So this is a movie that I've actually never seen before, and I wanted to correct that. I was in some meeting at work and someone actually mentioned this movie, and I thought to myself, you know what? I haven't seen that. I need to check this one out. And so I was able to find it at Disc Replay, and I grabbed it. So Dave Chappelle in Half-Baked should be a really good one when I get around to it. A fun stoner comedy, which are always enjoyable. This one has a really interesting slipcover just because I've never seen it before. It's an Adam Sandler Essentials slipcover of 8 Crazy Nights. So this, of course, is the animated movie with Adam Sandler about Hanukkah. And I have seen this one a very long time ago. I think like when it first came out on home media is when I first saw it. And I liked it when I saw it the first time, but I haven't seen it since. And so it is an Adam Sandler movie that I wanted to add to my collection. So I was really happy to find it. And this one is actually... it feels a little bit heavier. This is a 2-disc special edition. Oh, I guess that's all. I thought there might have been a booklet inside, but I guess not. So, yeah, Adam Sandler is an actor who is super hit or miss with me, but I have seen, you know, the ones I've seen and really liked, I definitely want to add to my collection. And so that's why I picked up 8 Crazy Nights, and I'll probably add more Adam Sandler as the days go on here. So, 8 Crazy Nights, the Adam Sandler Essentials collection. This next one was a movie that my buddy was obsessed with. I worked with him for a couple of years and he always quoted things from it and talked about it. And finally, as it turned out, we were approaching the end of our time working together. I finally watched it and I totally got it. Like, this movie is hysterical. This is Grandma's Boy, and unfortunately has this stupid Best Buy sticker on this awesome slipcover that I just cannot get off. So that was frustrating. But yeah, this is an excellent movie. It is so funny. It is just incredibly quotable. Like, some of the lines in here just had me rolling. It is hilarious. I'll admit, when I first started it, that opening scene, I was like, oh no, like this is not a good movie. And like, is it a great movie in terms of like the acting, the script? No, it's not. But like, it is a hilarious movie and I cannot recommend it enough. So I ended up finding the unrated edition on DVD. So I had to pick it up. Definitely recommend this one if you haven't seen it. It is just hysterical. It's just like a dumb comedy that follows this group of people who work as like video game testers for this video game company. But like, it's just like one of those irreverent comedies. It is hysterical. It is stupid as hell, but so funny if you like that type of humor. So Grandma's Boy, the unrated edition. Next up, I have to give a shout out to the Physical Media Man because he was going through some of his DVDs and mentioned Detroit Rock City. Now, this is a movie that I always remember at Blockbuster, but I never picked up. I always was intrigued by it because it had Detroit in the title, which is where I live in the Metro Detroit area. And so Detroit Rock City sounded like something I needed to see. But they never had it in stock or I just never ended up renting it for whatever reason. And so he was talking about it and I was like, you know what? I need to add that to my cheap DVDs to find list. And then sure enough, the next time I was at Disc Replay, it popped up. So I was like, heck yes, absolutely grabbing this in the snapper case at that, which is always cool. So actually, I think this is one. Yeah, that's really fun. I didn't know. Okay, yeah. I guess it's okay. But yeah, that's just the cool snapper case. But anyway, yeah, Detroit Rock City. I think they're on their way to go see Kiss, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe that's wrong. I have no idea. But I think, yes, it is Kiss. Okay, I was right. But yeah, it just looks like a lot of fun. And so really excited to finally check this one out. I'm glad that he mentioned it in his video because I'd forgotten about it over all these years. So happy to add Detroit Rock City to the collection. Next up is another comedy that I've always wanted to see. This is Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. So I guess it's my second stoner comedy of the video, which is so random. But yeah, this is I like these guys. They're funny. I know them from, or I know which one, Chong maybe? I don't know which one, from That 70s Show, whichever one was in there. And then the other one, Cheech, I think, was on, oh my goodness, I'm going to forget the name. My mom would kill me. It's some cop show. It wasn't Walker, Texas Ranger. I can't think of what show it was, but it was a show my mom always watched, whichever show it was, some cop show. And he was great in that. But anyway, I'd never seen any of their actual like comedies before that they've done. And so I figured this would be a great way to do that. So Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. I've heard great things over the years and hoping I will enjoy it. I couldn't pass up the cast on this one. I'd heard of this movie before, but frankly, I don't even really know what it's about. But it has Chris Farley and Matthew Perry. Like, what? The fact that they were in a movie together is amazing to me, and I just have to see this. So it says it was a time of heroes. Well, almost. They were hardy men in those days, men who, like Bartholomew Hunt and Leslie Edwards, made sure that when adventure called, it got a wrong number. So yeah, Christopher Guest. I didn't even realize Christopher Guest directed this. Waiting for Guffman. Best in Show. Like, he's an excellent director. So I am super excited about this now. I didn't even realize that. So very excited to check this one out and see if it's as good as it sounds here. I love both of these actors. I love Christopher Guest. I have really high expectations for this one now. So Almost Heroes with an awesome cast. Here's one that's a tie-in to my Inherited movie collection because I got the sequel in that, but I didn't have the original Dukes of Hazzard. And by original, I mean the original movie with Jessica Simpson in it, which that music video, Boots Are Made for Walking, which is just iconic when I was in high school for obvious reasons. And yeah, Johnny Knoxville and Seann William Scott. Like, I have seen this. I'm 99% certain I saw this one when I was in high school, when it was brand new in theaters, and I enjoyed it. Like, I thought it was funny. I've heard really terrible things about the sequel, which is actually a prequel, but the second movie in the franchise that I ended up picking up in the Inherited movies. People were telling me it's horrible, don't waste your time. But I did hold on to it, and I decided to pick up the original Dukes of Hazzard as well to go along with it. So excited to revisit this and then visit for the first time the prequel to see how that one is. So the Dukes of Hazzard with a wonderful, beautiful Jessica Simpson. Another tie-in to my Inherited movie collection, I didn't even realize it, but this is Crocodile Dundee II. This is one where I got the first one thanks to the Inherited movie collection, and so I had to pick up the next one here. This is with Paul Hogan, of course, and Linda Kozlowski. And yeah, I've not actually seen either of these movies. I believe they're just like comedy drama or comedy romance type films, adventure films maybe. But yeah, they should be pretty good. I've had some Australian viewers tell me that they loved Crocodile Dundee, and so I figured, you know what, the sequel's here, let's add it to the collection. So I have both of them now. So Crocodile Dundee II. I've said it multiple times before, but I cannot stand the movies like this, but this was one that like I wanted to have in the collection because I've not seen this one and I am such a big disaster movie fan. So I picked up Disaster Movie. This one, of course, is Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer, and it's just like all of their other stupid satire films, spoofs, whatever you want to call them. There's Date Movie, Disaster Movie, the Scary Movie franchise, you know, was kind of the OG with these. And there's others, Superhero Movie as well. And I think I have most of them, to be honest, because a lot of them I picked up at the dollar store, and then the Scary Movie franchise, I actually just completed that a few months ago. So yeah, Disaster Movie is the latest one in the collection. And this one was actually kind of difficult to find. I was super excited when I picked it up at Disc Replay because I've been looking for it for like a year now and just hadn't been able to find it. So when they had it in stock, I definitely was picking it up. Disaster Movie. Hopefully I'll like this one a little bit better than some of their other ones that I've watched. Okay, so we're moving out of the comedies now and kind of into like the miscellaneous start here, and judge away, I deserve it. But the other day I was there and I thought, you know what? How are these movies? Because I don't know. This is the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy. We have 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Darker, and 50 Shades Freed, which unfortunately did not come with the slipcover. Like, these other two had the slip, but this one didn't, which is just so frustrating when two of them do and the third one doesn't. But I mean, who cares? Will I even keep these? I don't know, because I don't know if these movies are terrible or if they're okay. And I think my wife has read maybe the first book or part of the first book before, so I'm thinking maybe she'll watch them with me. I have no idea, but I've heard like they're just kind of crazy, strange, out there movies for mainstream movies, and so we'll see. I know what the idea is with these, so maybe they'll be enjoyable. I have no idea. Judge away. I totally deserve it. The 50 Shades trilogy is now in the collection. This one's a Jim Carrey movie that I actually have not seen yet, but I've heard good things and it looks really good. This is The Majestic, and this one is from who? Frank Darabont. That I knew there was a famous director, but I couldn't remember who. So yeah, this should be decent given the cast and just the people behind it. Frank Darabont is an incredible director, so I have high expectations, and I'm really looking forward to checking this out. This is one that I feel like a lot of people have probably seen this, but I missed the boat. So excited to add The Majestic to the collection. Here's one that I have the novelization for, and so I wanted to pick up the DVD. Frankly, I've never heard much about this, but it's Arnold Schwarzenegger in End of Days. So this is a thriller, and on the back it says, more chilling than The Exorcist, more haunting than The Sixth Sense, End of Days will scare the hell out of you. So is this horror? I don't know. I thought it was more like a thriller movie, but frankly, it could be horror. I don't know. But I'm trying to get all of the movies I have a novelization for into the collection. So this was one of those that I needed to add. So looking forward to checking this one out. I like Schwarzenegger. I like horror/thriller movies. So hopefully this one will be enjoyable. End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger. This next one I've been waiting to add to the collection for quite some time now, ever since I first saw it and just fell in love with it. But the Blu-ray at Disc Replay has always been so expensive, like over $25, which is just too much. And then they actually released a 4K of this recently as well, but if I'm not mistaken, I think that one's an import, so another one that will be a little bit pricier. And if I'm wrong, let me know down below. But this is The Guest with Dan Stevens. And this is a movie that, like, I don't want to talk too terribly much about because you need to see it. It is an action movie that is just filled with, like, twists and turns, and it is just, like, balls to the wall action. It is so well done. I was not at all what I was expecting, and so that's why I don't want to, like, give too much away. But basically, our main character, Dan Stevens, shows up at this family's house after being discharged from the war, and he's supposedly their son's best friend. And so they, welcome him, but then things start getting kind of weird and a bunch of violence. Like, you just need to see the movie. It's excellent. Somebody recommended this to me back when we were still doing the Cinefessions podcast, and I'm so glad they did because it was phenomenal. So happy to add this to the collection. Even though it is the DVD, it's still better than nothing, and I will upgrade to the 4K eventually, but for $1.67, yeah, I'm happy to have it in the DVD collection. So The Guest with Dan Stevens, I cannot recommend enough. So that brings us over to the horror side of this haul, and this first one is a light horror movie. This is Goosebumps, The Ghost Next Door. So whenever I see these Goosebumps movies, I always try to pick them up because I don't have nearly enough in my collection. I would love to have as many as possible. So this one is The Ghost Next Door, and actually I don't know that I've seen... No, yes I have. I'm actually just... That screenshot right there is totally familiar to me. I thought I'd seen most of these, but I'm not 100% which ones I haven't. So anyway, this is an awesome one. This is, of course, just the telling, or the adaptation, rather, of The Ghost Next Door from the Goosebumps series. So not much to talk more about this one. If you like the Goosebumps, you'll probably enjoy this one. So Goosebumps, The Ghost Next Door, with this awesome pink cover, which I just love. I have another throwback to my inherited movie collection because in there I found, I guess it was the sequel to Ginger Snaps 2. Well, this is the third one in that trilogy, Ginger Snaps Back, The Beginning. So I think this one is actually a prequel to that series, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, this is just I never would have grabbed this if not for my inherited movie collection because I have the original from Scream Factory, and honestly, I don't love it, but I'm definitely going to give these other two a shot, and I'll give the first one a second chance as well because it's been a long time now since I've seen it. So, and I know people really like that one, so I definitely want to give it a second chance. But in my inherited movies, I found the second one, and so I had to grab the third one as well. So, Ginger Snaps Back, The Beginning. This next one is a movie that I had in the collection a long time ago, and then I got rid of, and then I was watching, I believe it was like That 90s Guy. I think I was watching one of his disc replay hauls, and he mentioned that he found White Noise and the sequel, White Noise 2. And I thought to myself, you know what? I want to give those another viewing. And so when I was at disc replay, I was trying to find both of them. Unfortunately, so far, I've only found the first one, but I will definitely be checking some other disc replays to pick up White Noise 2 because if memory serves, I actually liked the second White Noise better than the first one, but I'm not 100%. It's been a long, long time since I've seen either of these, and so I'm not positive on that, but for some reason in my head, I'm thinking I like the sequel more. But anyway, this is Michael Keaton, and it's I would say like a 6 out of 10. Like, it's a mediocre to good horror movie, but I wanted to watch it again to see if maybe I missed something the first time, or if it's just, I don't know, like, it's just from an era that I'm nostalgic for right now, I guess. And so I wanted to give it another shot and see how I liked it this time out. So for the price, I'm adding it to the collection. White Noise. And this one stars Michael Keaton also, which is just cool. So yeah, excited to revisit this one. Actually, a number of these next are ones that I've watched in that same era. This is The Skeleton Key. And this is another one I didn't love when I first saw it, but I want to give it a second shot. I've heard really good things about it over the years. So I'm thinking, was I wrong? I don't know. Like, I was in high school again. So like, my tastes have changed. So why not give it another viewing? And this has an awesome like slipcover. I don't know if you can tell, but it has like that rainbow effect a little bit. And it just looks cool. So yeah, I'm going to add The Skeleton Key to my collection, and I'll give it another watch and see if it's any good or not. This is another one from that exact same era, but I actually liked this one when I saw it. This is Rachel McAdams and Cillian Murphy in a Wes Craven film, Red Eye. So this one is not the best Wes Craven, not my favorite, but it's a good thriller. I think it kind of is exactly what you would expect it to be as you're watching the film. Not a ton of like, twists and turns here, but I think it's a well done movie. And frankly, I'd never seen this cover art before, so that was just intriguing to me. But honestly, when I found this one, I was like at a different disc replay and I needed a sixth movie to like move on with my life to get out of there. And so I was like, what am I going to get? And I said, you know what? This is I liked it the first time I saw it. Why not do this one? And so that's why I ended up picking up Red Eye. Not the best endorsement for it, of course, but I just needed something, and this is a good one to add. Another Wes Craven to the collection that I didn't have already. This next one is the sequel to a movie I really like. This is Joyride 2 Dead Ahead, the unrated edition. And I'm trying to get all three of these movies in my collection, which stay tuned for a future haul. Maybe I already did. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, this is one that I needed to have, and I had never seen it at Disc Replay on DVD. And so finally they had it and I picked it up. I actually had this one in my eBay cart for the longest time. And I'm glad I held off because I was able to get it a lot cheaper at Disc Replay. But yeah, I've not seen this one that I recall, but I have seen the first one multiple times and I love that. So I'm hoping the second one is at least decent, but I don't have high hopes. I'm just hoping for the best. So Joyride 2 Dead Ahead. Here's one that I thought I had in my collection, and I was surprised to find out I didn't. This is The Forest. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this was one of those January horror movies that kind of is just released and then forgotten about. But there are some January horror movies that I've enjoyed. I think of The Boy. That immediately comes to mind. In terms of recent movies, I'm talking. I really liked The Boy. But anyway, I digress. This is a movie about a girl who goes into the famous Japanese suicide forest. I'm sure there's a name for it, but I don't know what it is, and I guess it's just called Japan's infamous suicide forest. That's what it says on the back here. Yeah, and just, creepy and scary things are going to happen. So I've always thought it sounded good, even though I've heard nothing but negative things about it. I still wanted to give it a shot for myself and see how it was. So The Forest is hopefully a horror movie I will enjoy when I get around to it. We will see. Here's another pair of movies that I watched around the same time as I mentioned those other movies a couple minutes ago, but they're movies that, again, I didn't love. 6 to 7 out of 10. So you're probably thinking like, why waste your time? Why are you putting these in your collection? It's just because I want to have access to them. I want to watch them again and see if I like them better the next time. So this is Mirrors and Mirrors 2. And Mirrors stars Kiefer Sutherland, of course, who, I think is good at what he does. And Mirrors 2, there's a very memorable scene in here from, I'm going to totally forget her name, Christy Romano. Is that right? It is Christy Romano. I'm surprised I got that. But if you don't know the name, that is in Even Stevens. It is the sister in Even Stevens. But anyway, Mirrors and Mirrors 2. This is, I think the original at least is a remake of a Japanese film, if I'm not mistaken. And then Mirrors 2 is just the sequel to this remake. So, yes, these are, again, not great movies. This is another one where I liked the sequel better than the original, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know. I just wanted to give them another shot, and I found them both on DVD, so I figured, why not, just see if they're any good or not. And what kills me is, because I am the way I am, I will watch these again before I watch one of my unwatched, classics in my collection that I haven't seen. And I don't know why that is. It's it's a sickness, but I'm sure some of you out there can relate to me. But anyway, Mirrors and Mirrors 2. Not wonderful, but I wanted them in the collection to give them a second chance. So we'll see if I like them any better this time out. I feel like this is a super rambly video, and for that I apologize, but fortunately we're at the last one now, and this is a movie that I was honestly, I was blown away by. I thought it was going to be so stupid, was not looking forward to watching it at all, but I gave it a chance, and I'm so glad I did, because A Haunted House is just fantastic horror comedy. This one is written by Marlon Wayans and Rick Alvarez, and then directed by Michael Tides. And Marlon Wayans is a leading character here, along with Cedric the Entertainer. It gets a hilarious movie. It is exactly how you do spoof films correctly, whereas something like the disaster movie, at least the later scary movies are not very good, and then Vampires Suck is a terrible movie. Some of those types of films are just bad, whereas this one is how you do it. It is so funny. Of course, it is a take on the found footage genre. Paranormal Activity was real big at this point, and so yeah, they're just doing their own spoof on it, and it is hilarious. I cannot recommend this one enough either. So yeah, very happy to add this one to the collection. Honestly, this is one, if I can find both of them on Blu-ray for cheap, I will definitely be picking up both of them on Blu-ray down the line. But in the meantime, I can revisit this and give it another viewing because I loved it. So A Haunted House is the last one that I'm going to share with you guys today. Oh my gosh, there are so many in this video. I don't normally do this many at once anymore. I kind of break things up to keep the videos a little bit shorter, which is just not even the case either. I usually just ramble and ramble on. But anyway, 27 different movies I picked up from Disc Replay. And I will make note, these were all buy three, get three. So you might be thinking, well, where are the other three? And that's because some of them are UFC DVDs that I picked up as well along with these. And so I'm actually going to show all my UFC and wrestling DVDs I picked up recently in a separate video because there are a ton. So excited to do that one down the road here. But anyway, guys, let me hear from you down in the comments. What have you seen out of this stack? Anything that you would recommend me put to the top of the list that I've not seen yet? Anything in here that I've seen that you hated or that you loved as well? I would love to hear any and all of your thoughts down in the comments below. So please leave those down there. I always appreciate that. But as always, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below. That engagement really does help me out. And like I always say, I don't just talk movies, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, video games, graphic novels, manga. If it's media related, I'm interested in it. And if you are too, you might consider subscribing. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching this one. And I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.